So let's create our connection to this database. So in the folder of DB and PHP that we created in the last lecture, we created also this file of connection.php, and in my editor you can see we have this simple PHP file, nothing special here. I'm gonna give it name of connection, saving this one out. Now we need to connect this file with this database. Now for establishing your connection, you need to first of all connect your file with your localhost. Then you have to select your database. So there are two things to do here: connecting your file with your localhost and selecting your database that you created. So in the PHP scope, I am going to create here a variable of connection. And for creating connection, you need MySQL query, and that is MySQL underscore connect. And in the parentheses of this query, you have to pass three parameters. First of all, address to your host means your server, and in our case we are using our local host, so we need to add here localhost. Then you have to add your database username. So default username is root because we haven't created any username, and the default password for this root will be empty. So now we established our connection successfully. Now it's time we have to select our database. So I'm going to create here a new variable of selected, and for selecting our database that we just created, we need this query of MySQL underscore select underscore DB. Now in the parentheses of this query, you need to pass here two parameters. First parameter will be your database name. So if I can show you, we have created this database of emp underscore record. So we need to pass here emp underscore record, name of our database, and in the next parameter we have to add this whole string of MySQL, means we have to add this connection of MySQL here. But as you can see, we equal this with this variable of connection, so we don't need to paste whole MySQL connect here. So I'm just going to copy this variable name of connection because we equal it and paste it right here. So now we created our database in the last lecture, and we selected and connected our database in this lecture. So on the 9th line, you can see we established our connection, and on the 10th line, we selected our database of emp underscore record. So I'm going to save this file. So in my local host, I have this folder of PHP course, and then I have created this new folder of DB and PHP, and then we have this file of connection.php. Hitting enter. Now you can see we successfully browse our connection. We don't have any kind of error here. It means that our connection made successfully, and we selected our database successfully as well. But I'm going to show you some countermeasures here. So in case we selected wrong database or made false connection, we could have some error here as well. So back to my editor. So right after this connection, I'm going to define here if condition, in which I'm gonna say if dollar connection, means if this connection is established, then you should echo database connected. And else you can show error of MySQL, and we have default error message function, and that is error dot mysql underscore connect. So if it is good, then you could process this if condition database connected, and otherwise the error message. And same thing here, if our database is selected and it is true, then you should echo here database selected, and else you can say error dot mysql default selection error message underscore select underscore db. So these are the default error message function for our connection and for our selection. Now saving this one out, and let's add here br tag so that you can see it on the next line. Saving this one out, back to browser, refreshing the page. Now you can see we successfully connected our localhost with phpMyAdmin. Now we do have some problem with this selection procedure of our database, and on line 21 here you can see, oh, we have problem of selecting wrong database, because in the database panel you can see we have the name of record to our database. We have this table name of employee record, so we need to add this name of our database, and that is record right here. We need to select our database, and that is records. Saving this one out. Now refreshing the page. Now you can see we connected our database, we selected our database of record as well. So by using these if condition, you can also know that whether you are having some problem with your connection or your selection. So this is very handy. Like we made one error by ourselves, but with this procedure of if condition and using this error MySQL connection, we can also know whether we are having the problems or not. So if I give it wrong root, means wrong username here, let's make it to root. Saving this one out, refreshing the page. Now you can see we have the error as well, so we need to make it right. Saving this one out. Now our database is connected and selected.